This is Joyce,
And Blake,
and welcome
and
to
welcome to
Savagely
Savagely
Scale.
Scaled. The 2026 CrossFit Open has officially wrapped up. It's actually wrapped up a couple weeks ago, but here we are. And we've got thoughts. So we wanted to do the sit down on Savagely Scaled. We're going to be breaking down our full experience with this year's Open, from the workouts to the vibes in the gym to what we think hit and what maybe missed the mark with this kind of open. I know some people had some strong feelings. We're going to talk about how it felt as athletes, what stood out in the programming, and how the community showed up. Because, let's be real, it's mostly about the community, if not 100% about how your community really puts out for the open. And I feel our themes this year were just chef's
On
kiss
point.
completely. We're also going to dive into the quarterfinals because one of us made it. I'm going to let you know it's not me. And how she feels about moving on and how excited I am for her. Maybe one year I'll be just like Joycey.
Next year.
Yay! Watch, they're gonna be like, we're not doing it again. We only do it every other year.
That's what happened last year, so who knows?
I know.
Who knows?
So, whether you crushed your goals, fell short, or are heading into the next stage, this episode is all about reflecting and learning
That's
and
right.
talking.
Venting.
Venting, 100%
Oh,
venting.
that first workout. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. I mean, how first, well, I know you want to talk about the thing, but the first theme at our gym was rave night, and you missed
I
out,
missed
girl.
it.
The girl who goes to raves, like, people thought I had been to a rave, and I was like, I've never been to a rave, but it sounds like my jam. I was like, I would love to, but I just hear about the DRUGs, so Blake stays away from things like that. But I had the most exciting time shopping for these themes. But the first one was Rave Night, and I feel like I killed it because I had a theme for each week too, whether people asked for it or not. Our colors, we had Team Pink, Team Blue, and Team Green, and they were like hot pink, lime green, electric blue, and I did everybody's colors. So I wore pink
Wow.
and stuff and had the glitter, and I got hair ties that glowed and
That's
all the
cool.
fun stuff. And Joycey wasn't there.
I missed it. It was so, I
She was
just
on
I was
vacation.
all looking at the pictures and videos from like on the trip, and I was just like, "Oh my god, it looks so great!" And and this was totally my theme, and I was just like, "Great, totally
Uh-huh.
missing it." But best dress goes to Lindsay because oh my god, her outfit was fire. I was just like,
My gosh.
she did
I
it
want to let
right.
you know too, like, she was super excited. She's like, wait until you see. And I was like, girl, you do this. Last year, her vibes with the themes were really good. And then when she walked in, all of her stuff this
Let the
season
ass
was
walk in.
amazing. But yes, I was like, people were like, oh, you're really good. And then Lindsay came in and I was like, yeah, first place. First place. And I was like, shoot, that was just
Killed it.
amazing. Yeah.
Killed it.
I also had like boots I was gonna wear, and I totally forgot to wear them, and I was wearing my house slippers. I was like, oh
Hey,
my
people
gosh.
at raves do that too, though sometimes. So
Yeah, but I felt like how you feel whenever you go to places that like we've interviewed or like just that we've made friends with, and everybody's like, where's Joycey? How's Joycey? What's Joycey doing? And I'm like, hi, my name is Blake, and Joycey's fine.
and I'm here right now. Yes.
And they're like, when is she gonna do it? I was like, she's gonna do it when she comes back. We already have a time. She's gonna
Aww.
do great. This is a good workout for her.
That's very sweet. It's nice to be missed. That's for
But
sure.
yeah, the vibes were good. And I'm also gonna say, like, Chris with the music, we had themed music every week and it was
That's
just
so cool.
rocking out. But yeah,
Also, the
26
videos
point.
of you guys like
Oh yeah,
jumping
that
up
was his
together was
idea.
amazing.
Yeah, he
It
was
was
like, "Okay,
amazing.
we would it be cool if we all do that?" And we're like, "Yeah, let's do it."
The
It
content.
was it was awesome. 26.1
Ouch. That's all I have to
hit
say. That's
wall
my one
balls
word.
and burpee box jump overs.
It was, yep, just that. Just a couplet, a nasty couplet that
I will say
lasted
I'm
way
kind
too
of
long.
tired. Yeah, I'm tired of the couplets for the first workout. I liked this workout. I liked all the workouts. All the workout looked fun. And Blake's theory of fun, it doesn't mean that I'm going to have fun during it. It just means that you're going to feel the burn. And that's
Mm-hmm.
what CrossFit's about. And it's
That's
going to get
true.
on your nerves, and you're going to get tired, and you're going to get sweaty, and your legs are going to burn, and you're going to be annoyed, and just everything I love about CrossFit
Yep.
in
It
two
was,
movements.
yeah. I think the movements are indeed very CrossFit-y, but just the rep scheme was nasty. And I don't think I've ever felt that sore after an open workout until I did that workout. Like,
Girl,
that was the worst I've ever felt. And it lasted for days. And I was just like, this is awful. And
I was holding
yeah.
on to the walls trying to sit down to go to the bathroom like the
Oh,
first time I
yeah.
joined CrossFit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And rest did nothing. Salt baths did nothing. Rolling did nothing. It was rough, man. But I think, like you said, that's the part that you love about it. That you're like, oh, it's gritty, it's nasty, it hurts, but that's the open. And then also, a lot of people were reporting that like their breathing felt like almost like a
Oh
runner, like,
yeah.
and I
Yeah,
felt
so
that
many
too.
people were like my throat was on fire.
Yeah,
Like
it was
we
weird.
had a couple athletes and I was like, "You're not the first person who told me. That's crazy." And I feel like that was also the theme with all these workouts. There was different types where people are like, "Oh, this is what got me." And I'm like, "That one got everybody." But so many people at our gym complained about it and
Yep,
how it just like their breathing was not okay. Like I
it was
felt
heavy.
bad.
It was rough. It hurt. But yeah, it was gross. And I ended up doing it, I think, the Monday after. So the day that it was due.
Yeah.
And yeah, you go in with a plan. And then everyone's like, lower your plan even more than that. And you're just like, oh, okay. So
Yep.
literally 3 reps at a time. And even then, that felt awful. And I was just
But
like,
wasn't that like the theme of all these workouts? Like, go slower than you think.
right. That's how they got you this year. That's for sure. And then plot twist with the medicine ball box stepovers and having to be careful to not rest it on your thigh and having to maneuver and figure out a way to do that was just something else too that I was like, this is interesting.
Yeah. It is interesting. Like, my brain was, I know the difference between resting and grazing the ball. Like, some of us are built differently. So, to get up onto that, like, your leg is going to swish the ball, graze the ball, do something, right? But if we're like holding it and using it as resting, like it's continuous pressure on that object, you're now not, grazing it, you're resting it on your leg. So there was like some discrepancy with stuff. Even like the elite athletes were trying to show the difference. This is not resting, this is resting.
Yeah.
And I know people sometimes are like, well, then just don't touch the ball at all. It's just very hard. Like for me, it's very hard to, I'm short in stature, like
Yep.
even
That's what I was gonna
going
say.
up to the 20, like holding it and not touching it at all.
Yeah, because your
It's,
knee's very high up there. We're like trying to like
yeah.
lean into it
And
almost.
I'm one of those where like, I don't want my judge to be like,
Any doubt?
this,
Yeah.
yeah, or they have a different definition. Because we can
Fair.
all take resting as a different definition. So I always held mine up. It did
Smart.
tire my arms, but like I tried one on my side and I was like, this is too close to my leg. Like I don't want it to be a no rep, even if I feel like it's not. So I always take the harder road of let's just take that completely out. I did want to try it in the middle, and I was like, yeah, definitely not. My legs are too short. I would
Man,
definitely like just rest on some part. So
it was hard.
I I liked it, but I'm also tired of couplets.
Yeah,
I
it was
don't
a little
like
boring.
couplets as much because there's just two movements. And it was two movements of basically legs.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I had to lift
and time
the day
just felt like it was
after, and it
going
was just right. Like,
so
time was
slow.
just like, oh, we still have more time. Here
Yeah,
we are. And
no more
like,
going.
I didn't do the whole like we told people to do reps of 5. Like I did reps of 10 until I died off.
Damn.
Mary was next to me and she did not die off as much. I caught up to her on the step overs because I just
Mm.
like put my head down and I was like, "Oh, I can do this." And my legs are burning, but it's step overs. Like you got to just keep stepping and go as fast as you can if I'm going to catch somebody. I was just my legs, man. Like stretching them was rough.
I know.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
rough.
Yeah, welcome to the open, huh?
Yeah. But then we move on to 26.2 and that theme was our emo punk night.
That one was so much
It was
fun.
so fun.
I love
So
that
fun,
one.
and I loved my tattoo, and I loved my hair, and I got all the fake piercings,
People
and I
went
walk
all
in the
out.
door. Yeah, I walked in the door, and a couple people were like, "You look mean," and I was like, "That's what my husband said." They're like,
You're
"We want to
like,
talk
yeah.
to you in high school because you look so mean," and I was like, "Really?"
I would have owned it. I'd been like, yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
okay. Yeah, I'm just like, I thought I looked really cool. I loved my little
You did
nose
look really
ring
cool.
thing, all this stuff. I was like, I look really cute.
It was pretty neat. I love seeing everybody
Yeah.
dress up. The
So
hair, the makeup.
yeah, I loved everything. Again, Lindsay killed that night
She
too
did. I
with
love the
her
pants.
outfit. And then we had emo rock music the entire night.
It was amazing. And the
And
workout
I
was
think
a good one.
yeah, didn't we have Catherine
Oh yeah, we had like a little mosh pit. We
mosh
also had
pit and
some
then we
surfing, some
lifted
people
her up?
surfing.
Yep. Yeah,
I don't
that
even know how
workout
that
wasn't that
started.
I know. That workout wasn't that bad either. Where we
It was
have,
fun.
overhead lunges, and then you got to do pull ups in between, then chest to bars, and then
The
instead of bar
snatches.
muscle ups, ring muscle ups. Oh, yeah, the
Yeah.
snatches. It was just like,
I like
I'm gonna
that
tell
one.
you, like, Joycey did great in the first one, but when this one came out, I was like, even though like you don't have big sets, I was like, this is her jam because
Yeah.
she can do quick sets or single out like this. Y'all, if you come and see her tired, like she could do like probably 50 pull-ups if she's like, okay, well, I'll single them. She'd do like pull up, like she will just
Right.
dominate you. Just like I was telling
I'm gonna
somebody,
try.
I was like, see your big sets and then you had to rest. I go, this girl is gonna do like, I don't know what your sets look like. I just saw your singles. I go, she will do the movement, take a step back, do the movement, take a step back. Like there's no second guessing. She's going to dominate in that sense because she knows she's doing the time. And a lot of people I think don't like kind of underestimate you in that aspect because I'm like, oh no. Even if she's singling, they are the quickest singles you've ever seen.
Girl, I gotta make up for lost time somehow. I'm like, I might
I
not be
know you
fast, but
just
I'm just gonna go and make up
oh,
time
your
where I can.
lunges were really good too.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed this workout. Right before I did this workout though, I kind of popped like one of my carpal bones out of place
that's right.
and I didn't know at the time. I was like,
Girl,
oh, my wrist hurts kind of. And then I had this like big bruise on my forearm.
that's right.
And I did the workout. It didn't
Dude,
hurt. Or was that when we did? Maybe it was actually 26.1. I don't know. I think it was actually
from the wall
26.1 that I
balls.
hurt. Yeah, it didn't hurt in
It
that
was while I was
aspect.
gone.
Yeah, so it was the Wawa ones. But I still kind of didn't know what was up with it yet. I hadn't seen Carol, and this was a lot of our
Ouch.
wrist movement.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, though, I love dumbbell overhead work and lunges.
I do like lunges.
And the snatches they were okay. But when I got to the pull-up bar, my RX Smart Gears were so slippery. So
No.
Dave to the rescue, his Element 26 ones, oh my gosh. You could probably hold on and do like 100 pull-ups with them.
We're not sponsored, but sponsor us.
No, but I love them. I'm getting some. I need some because
The Element
so
26 ones you say? But those don't have the
yes.
holes in them, don't they?
No,
Do
but you
they?
should try them. They don't. The ones that he has, they do not. You should try them. I know that you like Bear
The frog
Complex
grips.
or
I
Frog
get
Grips.
Bear Complex
Frog Grips
too.
are really good too. But so my RX ones were slipping, and Dave was like, I have my new ones. You want to try them? And I remember Phoebe tried them one time when I was around, and I was like, yeah. So then Maggie was like my runner. She was like going to get that, and then she put them on my wrist. I freaking held on for those pull ups after a while, and I was like, yes. They helped. They were just amazing. And then my chest to bar, I did a couple, and then I had to do singles, and I didn't make it to the ring muscle ups. I died more on like I walked her. I
The
think
lunges.
I got my. I waited for the for her to find the grips. She had to get me a pad to stand on, so I just stood around and waited for that. I wasn't complaining about waiting around because I was like, "Well, I get a break," and I was like,
You're like, this is
"Yeah,
nice.
this is nice. I'm tired anyways." And I made it into the snatches. So I enjoyed that workout.
It was a good one.
My arms were a little bit tired. So that was more like arms. But at the same time, like my quads from the lunges or my butt from the lunges, it
Yeah.
wasn't as it wasn't as bad. And my recovery wasn't as bad. And that's why I kept telling everybody each workout, my recovery was better with each workout. But yeah, I did like that one. If
I
I
did
were
too.
to redo any of them, I think I would have redone
Yep.
that one or the last one. I definitely was not redoing the first one.
No. No, thank you.
No.
Not even the last one, I think. But even I
I
think
actually really like that one.
you crazy. The burpees. But anyway, before we talk about that one, I think we got a few first pull-ups, which was really fun. I think Pam
Yeah,
did it.
Pam got it. Yeah, Cameron,
And they were just in our High Rocks interview.
Amy,
I'm like,
I believe Amy. Yeah.
yeah, it was a
Amy
good
had
one.
gotten hers. It was nice. We did have like a big group, and we had some who had, had theirs from last year or recently got them a couple months and got to show them off too. I do. I love the pull up workouts in an open because there's so many people who are like on the verge, and the open helps them.
It's always the pull-ups, right? I feel like the pull-ups are always what make it or break it to the next level for an athlete. Because you're like,
Yep.
oh yeah, I finally got to the pull-ups and I got one. That's always like the
Yeah.
big, I feel like, marker point of your CrossFit experience.
And we had so many people do RX that were like, "Oh,
Did.
I'm not going to do RX." And it's
They were
like,
on the
okay,
verge.
can you lift this? Well, I can't do a pull up. I totally understand that. But let's do the lunges and the snatches that we can do. Aim for a pull up. And if,
Catherine.
our gym does the whole, if you don't get it, you have two options. We stop the workout, we're done. Or we still stop the workout. Your judge puts the time and everything, but you still get to continue on with
Or
the
try.
workout, just doing different things. So like I still had people using the 35-pound kettlebell, but when it came to their pull-ups, they would do ring rows or jumping. And that was after we had already been like, okay, this is going to be your time. This is going to be this. And now I'm just like your one-on-one cheerleader for the rest of this workout. And I know some people are like, well, why do that? And it's like, well, why wouldn't you? Because in any other workout, you'd be like, well, I can't do the pull-ups, so I went down to 25 anyways. But here you just mastered a 35-pound walking lunges and snatches. And you're still doing it. You're just taking that, like,
You're moving on up.
that's, Yeah, and that's the aspect of mindset you need to have with the open. It's not
Mm-hmm.
like our classes where you can be like, oh, I'm going to take this piece and this piece and this piece. It's how far can I get into this workout or how much weight can I do? It might not be the long workout like everybody else, but I have a piece of it that I have never done before. And
True.
there's a lot of people who haven't done a walking lunge with a dumbbell over their head, especially with a 35 or a 50 pound,
So
and then
true.
have to go into snatches because we get so into our comfort zone. And the open is there to get out of your comfort zone. Yeah, we can look at ourselves in, the leaderboard, but we have a leaderboard on SugarWAD. To me, your open, especially your first couple open, is you competing against you. And you still want to put
True.
it in. The reason why you want to put it in, because you do want to see if you grow next year in the percentile. That doesn't have to be against our gym.
Right.
It's worldwide. Did your percentile grow?
Mm-hmm.
Did your number go up? Like, you don't even have to be like, I don't want to look at our leaderboard. You can look at worldwide and see how you've grown worldwide or your age group
Mm-hmm.
or just in Arizona.
True.
Like, take it that way compared to some of this whole why bother.
Mm.
Why bother is because the open is designated to CrossFit, and that's what makes CrossFit unique
Amen.
compared to any of the other gyms because, the Globo gyms don't have these competitions, and let alone worldwide ranking competitions. So try
True.
it.
And then we even
Yeah.
talked about, I think, our previous check-in episode about how like having a goal or something to like aim for almost is like helps you throughout the year to have like a North Star of like, okay, I have this many months until the next open to, maybe tackle my handstand push-ups or maybe, something that came up in this workout, like maybe your pull-ups or your chest to bar, that's something you want to work on next year. So it's like a good way for you to kind of set a goal and try to like work towards it for the rest of the year. And
Yeah.
I think we've talked about like for us that's what works really well is having a set goal versus just being like you said, a global gym where you just show up, do your 30 minutes and that's it and I'm done, right? Like I think being able to set that for yourself is a great way to kind of hold yourself accountable and have something like tangible to look forward to. Yeah.
It is. Yeah, just, it is. And those are the reasons why I love the open. And when they do this whole now, 25% of the top, it
Right.
does give more and more people like that push. Now, we do have opens that don't work well with others, right? We have some seasons that are like, ooh, that season, those workouts were my jam. And then we have seasons where, like, those workouts or that movement, things like that, are not my jam.
Right.
And you have those. You have those off seasons because this is built for people who could do everything in a sense that are
True.
moving on. So then we can look at that and be like, oh, last year I didn't do so well in that percentile because of wall balls, or I didn't do that because I don't have pull-ups. And like you said, those then become you're working on for the whole year for next open. Do we see the same workouts? Not all the time. We haven't had a repeat. We didn't get a repeat workout this year.
No.
Sometimes we have repeats. I love repeats. Though if they do the stupid wall ball one, I'm gonna be like, no. I ain't doing
Yeah.
it.
Even the last one, I was like, I don't know if I want to do all those burpees again. And like the third workout was just so many
I
burpees.
didn't mind that.
That's
It scared
wild.
me. It did make
And the
that was the
thruster.
workout. That was the workout I was most nervous for because it was a burpee workout.
Mm-hmm.
Because you
And it
had
was long.
burpee, bar work, burpee, bar work, burpee, bar work, burpee, bar work.
16
The
minutes of
two
it.
rounds of it. And it was it in my head. I was like, "Okay, I gotta get past these 2 rounds because I want to get more weight." But I still really enjoyed that workout, even though I was dying.
And then you saw the elites didn't finish, so you're just like, man, if they can't finish, like, I'm really good
Yeah,
at that.
like when Dave was announcing the workout, it was like he didn't even know the workout, and they were saying that Adrian was the one who created that workout. So I was like, oh, that makes sense. sometimes I'm like, hey, you announcing it, you need to know it. But he was also hanging around, and I was like, is he going to be like, and there's a part two. Like, I
Right.
thought when Adrian was like, he asked the girls, do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? Dave, do you have any questions? CrossFit, it would have been the best mic drop if he was like, well, actually, I do. Is
Oh.
there time for a part two? Yes, there is, my friends. Yes, I
Yeah,
was like waiting for it.
that
I
could
was
have
like,
been
hey.
good.
And he looked like a stalker just waiting to say something. And no, he's just there having a good old time.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah,
But
it was.
I
Yeah,
was watching
it was
it.
very hype.
I was like, oh man, they're dying. Oh,
That's
they're they're
concerning.
completely dying. And I'm like, this is gonna be a fun workout then.
Yeah, I know. Oddly as it sounds, though, I was kind of like, okay, if they can't do it, then I feel a little bit better that I'm not gonna finish it. I was like,
Oh
it
yeah,
made me
because
feel
you're
more like,
always like they finish them, and you're like, well, there goes me finishing it, right? But yeah, at least you could be like, well, I don't
nobody
feel bad if I
finished
don't
it.
finish it.
Yeah, if they did it, I'm definitely not.
Yeah. Yeah. So everybody's mindset was like, well, I'm definitely not finishing it. So our gym's last theme was color night. So we all focused on our colors.
Yeah, on the pizza on the last night and just having a good time. So yeah, and then like you said, it was
Yeah.
such a burpee workout, so everyone was just taking it really slow, and it was like I think the longest of all the open workouts we had this year because
It
it
was
was like
16
16 minutes.
minutes.
Yeah, so it was a
Yeah.
little gritty. We were just watching each other struggle.
Yeah, it was. I know so many people were like, well, I can't lift the weights. And I was like, it's a burpee workout.
You won't even
Uh,
get to that part probably.
let's focus on this first bar and the
Yeah.
burpees. And then because it was to a lot of people, a hidden burpee workout, those first 12 burpees, people are like, oh, I got this. And
Yeah,
then
people are
they
feeling
do the
good.
cleans, and then they do their second burpees. They're like, oh, I'm getting a little tired. Then you go to the thrusters. And the thrusters is where you want to have a goal of breaking it up. We told
Mm-hmm.
everybody singles on those cleans, and
Yeah.
I love doing that. That's where like I caught my breath. That's where I also set my posture and everything up. I didn't do those like deadlift cleans.
Yeah.
Um, because that's like a lot of people are like, did you feel it in your back? And I was like, absolutely not. I'm going to set myself up. Now, if that takes
Right.
extra time, that's for Blake's season, not yours. But and then once you got to those thrusters, though, like when we're like, have a set, like probably fours. Joyce did a really good one. You did 5, 4, and 3.
Right.
So that
Because
was really good.
psychologically, to me, that made sense. Like, oh, if I'm going less reps every time, like, I'm going to be like, yay, less reps. Like, it made me feel less, I guess, like a
Which I
struggle.
did tell people that after you told me like how you thought about it, I was like, hey, here's some options. You do it this way, this way, this way. Some people think about going down. Some people like a set number. Some people like
Hmm.
to figure it out halfway through. Some people like to do what I do, where I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and then I don't do it.
I'm dying
Um,
singles all the way.
yeah. Jason was like, oh,
Yeah.
you didn't stick to your plan. I was like, yeah, and I regret it.
Dude, it's hard when you're so exhausted. You're so dead. You have nothing in the
So
tank.
it was hard so I decided to go at the end of the night.
That's right.
And then we had Phoebe, who's another coach, Andrew, who's another coach, and Cliff. For some reason, I just see Andrew out of the side of my eye, like getting to the bar faster than me. And I did have a set plan for my thrusters. I told Jason fours, and he was like, great job. That will work out. My first set, I did 6 and 6. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. And he was like, you were in your own race. Don't worry about Andrew. And Andrew was like, yeah, you ended up like you got more than me. And I go, yeah, but that first part of the workout, I saw you were coming fast. So I had to get over faster. It was just, Blake still has that competitiveness, and somebody can straight up, you know, figure out my weakness and be like, oh, if I make her go faster,
Girl, I'm the
she'll
same
die off.
way.
Yeah. And I remember Jason being like, hey, I'm going to let you free. I'm going to let you set you free. And I was like, I don't want
Don't
to.
set me
I said,
free.
don't. Yeah. I said, nobody
Keep
wants,
training you.
no, no. I'm not a stallion.
I want the kid
Nobody.
leash.
Yeah. But I
Oh
did when
man.
I had like a minute left and he was like burpees or like 30 seconds left. I was like, I told myself, I was like, you have to go faster. Everybody's watching you. You only have 30 seconds. You tell everybody there's only 30 seconds left. Hurry up. So I was like, you have to do what you tell these people. So there I was, just flip, flip, flip.
You did.
But yeah, I did. I liked that workout. I did like be like, you know what? I should have done fours. I did have something like after every workout. I was like, you know what? I could have done that if I did this stuff like that. I but I did. I loved the last workout. It was
Really?
horrible and I loved it. And I only had like the back of my arms were the only thing that was sore.
That's pretty
Like
good.
yeah, like each workout I got less and less sore.
Okay. That's
And
pretty
I was like,
good.
I'm ready for every Friday to have a workout. That was so much fun.
It was a good one. It was a lot of fun. And it was great to see people do it like after or before and just kind of gain tips. I was just like, go way slower than you think, like ridiculously slow
Yes, it was
than
like,
you
hey,
think.
those burpees, you can go
Because
slow.
some people were
You
going in pretty
know,
hot, and I was like,
you're gonna
why?
die.
Why are
Yep.
you doing that? Yeah, but
Yeah.
it was an interesting one. It was a fun one. And but yeah, speaking of percentages, did yours change or get better from the previous year? Because you do the
I
open
think
every
it's.
year. Did you check?
I do the open. Why are you gonna make me feel bad?
I was gonna say, I'm like, we're looking at
I
how we're
think I stayed
improving.
the same. I think I stayed the same. And I've been weightlifting.
That's what I
You
was
know
gonna
what? I
say.
love this part when I was like, I did this. And they're like, you didn't do bad for weightlifting. And I was like,
That's what I was gonna say, though.
that's
You didn't do bad,
true.
period.
I didn't do bad. I could have pushed more. But for
Yeah, but
me,
imagine if
like,
you were trained fully in CrossFit, you probably would have kicked butt.
then I wouldn't have an excuse. No, I did worse this year.
Well, you were weightlifting, remember? It's true.
Which is okay. It's just, it's sad. No.
Well, you had a
It's
weightlifting year,
okay. Like
girl.
I was there to I wasn't even like thinking
You weren't
about
even supposed to do
quarterfinals.
it. I'm just
No.
kidding.
I know.
No, no, you weren't even supposed to. So this is already pretty good, and then hopefully maybe next
Yeah,
year
I
you'll
wasn't
decide to come
yeah,
back.
I wasn't thinking about quarterfinals. I was just thinking of like I'm just excited to do the
Participating.
open. I think I was like the only lifter besides Andrew who did the open and the only lifter who
True.
was excited to do it.
I'm like, baby, come
Because
back.
as a coach, we also were, are told like, hey, it would
Yeah.
be really good if you also join in on the open, which I'm like, yeah, I
Like
got
Mary
this.
does too.
Yeah, but like I get really I just love the open, and of course I'm gonna sign up. Whether
Yeah.
even when I healed my back, I was like, well, I'm gonna do what I can do.
Dude, I can't believe you did that. That was pretty awesome.
So I love to do it. And if they have quarterfinals next year, maybe I can actually qualify for that. And then we'll just keep having more and more members do it. But it was fun. I loved this season's our gyms, like the vibes, everybody participating. I loved the themes this year. Like I just felt love when people come together, especially in our gym and our community like celebrates all of that. It just
It's yeah.
makes me happy.
No, it is pretty
But
cool.
you did really good this year. Didn't
I
you get like
did.
80th percentile?
I went up 5% from last year, so that's pretty good. So I was at right at 80%. And I think this is the year where I'm like in the 35 to 39 division, even though I'm still 34. But
Which is actually like really hard. It's harder
pretty
for me.
hard.
Like my percentages, my percentiles or percentage whatever, my numbers were better when I was in like the individual
Individual.
open.
Yeah,
Yeah, when
that's
I
what I
bumped up to
realized.
35, 39, like
Competition's
I was
rough.
like, man, I suck. But it's also like what do you prepare for? You're an amazing athlete.
Yeah, these open
And
workouts
I
are pretty good for
feel,
me.
yeah, I feel like a lot of open workouts are good for you. If there was
Hmm.
a rowing workout, you'd be really good at the rowing workout too. Double under
True.
workout, be really good at double unders. I mean, that's in the quarterfinals, but
That's true. That's why I'm
there's
excited for
not,
those two. I'm like the other two though. I'm like, ooh, because it's skill
but
work, which is my
it
my
is,
Achilles heel.
yeah.
But there's
So,
ways
I
for me to
mean,
work around it. So I'm gonna
yeah.
do my best to work around it as best as I can and hit tie break times and stuff like that. So that once I get to the skill part, like the strict handstand push-ups, I'll just be like, okay, just hit everything as fast as I could, and once I get there, I'll try. But
Yeah.
I'm probably more likely than not, I'm not gonna get a handstand push-up. But I think there's another one, the bar muscle ups, that I'm like, I
Mhm.
can't do that either. I'm like, but I'm gonna kill it in the clean and jerks before that. No, I think it's dumbbell, dual dumbbell
It's the hang
squat cleans. I had
squat
80 of
cleans,
them.
yep.
So I'm just gonna do all 80. And then I'm gonna try and get to the
My arms are
rig and
gonna be dead.
girl, they're gonna be
You,
awful. But
but you know what? It's just, yeah. And it's also like you doing the quarterfinals is a big step. Each quarterfinal is different, just like the open is different.
true.
And it's there to test you in a completely different way. Sometimes it's there to be like, you can't go any farther. And
Yeah.
whether you're going to work on one of those skills or both of those skills for next season,
Yeah.
right?
True.
It's a different tester than the open. To me, the open is like that friend who's like, hey, how
Hi.
are you? Every day's a fun day. It might be rough today, but we're still having a good day. To where the quarterfinals, like, I don't know about you, but it's
It's
raining
like
outside and I don't have an umbrella. So we got to get to the other house somehow. Like,
it's like a
you
slap in the
know?
face. I think of that
Yeah.
penguin gif where the penguin's just walking by, and then the other penguin's just like, whoosh, and then he just like falls on his face. That's exactly what it's gonna feel like. But it's okay. I feel like I'm just
Yeah.
honored to participate and be like, oh, cool, I'm doing it. But yeah, I'm with you. I think it's opening my eyes to like, okay, these are the things I obviously need to work on, which have always been skills. But also, I've also noticed things are getting harder. Strict handstand push-ups is pretty up there compared to just doing handstand push-ups like kipping. So I'm kind of like, ooh, that's a little like we're picking it up in terms of like
Yeah.
level.
Yeah, there's like, oh, okay. Like I saw the workouts and I was like, ooh, all these seem like really fun.
But the time caps are a little aggressive. I think they're all like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, like it just has to be fast. Which I'm like, yep, this is quarterfinals. Here we go. Top tier.
Yeah. Maggie was like, "Oh, you can try them." And we both were like, "Oh,
Yeah,
no,
it'd be
not
fun.
this week. Can't try them yet until after my meet."
But it would be fun. I mean, it's another good chance for people to just be like, I'll try it and do it just for kicks and see,
That's the
like,
other thing. I think there was one year, the first year they did the quarterfinals and you made that year too. Me and Maggie tried all of the workouts
do
that
workouts.
year. Yeah, and it was fun to be like, okay, like these are hard. Well, they were hard no matter what. Like,
Right.
but it was fun to try them and have that aspect of like, okay, this is what the next stage is. This is if you're training this way, and so on. It is. It's really something that you do want to get better at. Try the workouts,
Mm-hmm.
even if you have to modify them to yourself. You can try them, see how hard they are, or even try to push yourself and do them. I was talking to a couple people um, that I was like, okay, well, in class, there's other ways to push yourself. Like, I used to, eons ago, I used to get 14-pound wall ball, and instead of doing the 9, I used to do the 10-footer, right? So then I can get used to it. It'd be easier just to hit the 9. There's, if we say like, okay, this workout's ring rows and everybody has to do ring rows, can you make your ring rows harder? Yeah, you can have them foot elevated ring rows. There's things that you can push in a workout to be, even if we don't RX plus on the board, you can be like, hey, I'm trying to work on this. Can I do this? Always, always. You ask your coach. I would say always ask your coach and then see what their input is and go from there.
Goodness gracious. Yes.
But it is nice that there are some athletes at our gym who are like, I do want to make it to quarterfinals next year.
Yeah.
Maybe I do need to try these little things. And it's like the little things will add up to one big thing. Now, if we take tons of big things, they're not going to add up to any little thing or 20 big things. You have to accomplish these little things first. So pick one little thing, accomplish it, move on. Grow in this if you want to strengthen this, if you want to do this. There are those times when we're like, hey, in this class, now is the time to grab that 14-pound wall ball or that 20-pound wall ball. Now is the time for a 35-pound dumbbell. Now is the time for that 65-pound barbell. This is the workout. Are you going to finish? You might not, but this is the time to work on it.
Preach.
Take those and don't do the whole, well, I'm not going to finish.
Right. And
take those moments to be like, oh, but I'm doing it to better myself in this movement. True. If we're working on strict pull-ups, there's sometimes when I'm like, the band is not what we're doing today. We're doing it this way. It's to work the muscles that we don't normally work, because your lats are really big in CrossFit and you need to learn how to use them just like your legs. So when we're doing certain movements and I'm like, hey, are you feeling it in your lats? Okay, that's what you're sticking with today. But that's not the full movement. What are we trying to do?
Sure.
Again, we talk about this a lot, and that's just because that's what we've gone through and struggled with as athletes and as, me as a coach and you learning CrossFit and now prospering in things. We've all had that whole, like I just told you, like I wanted to beat Andrew because I thought Andrew was trying to beat everybody. And you have that aspect of, oh man, I should have stuck to my plan compared to somebody else's plan or somebody else in class, or the flashing, kipping handstand push-up or strict handstand push-up, but I can't do upside down stuff, or I can't do regular push-ups. Let's work on those things first. You don't just, learn by doing, because we're not kids. You learn by these steps to get you to doing it.
Yeah, and I like to personally, I just remind my coach, hey, I know the workout says, I think the other day it was a 10 toes to bar workout, and I was like, hey, Andrew, I really want to work on my toes to bar. So, what should I, should I lower the reps so that way I can focus on this? And, your coaches can help you with that, right? Tell you, yeah, if we're going to focus on that, then let's do this, break it up this way, and do less of everything else so you can focus on that. And it helps, but like Blake said, you kind of have to hold yourself accountable and be willing to take that step and say, hey, coach, I want to focus on this, and this is what I kind of am thinking to do in order to make that happen. Because, no one's going to, remind you to do it. You're going to have to do it on your own, and you got to take that extra time sometimes after class to work on that mobility or work on those drills and do the extra work, but it's going to be worth it. Once you finally get it, you're like, oh man, it's paying off. It feels really good to see that end result after all that work. A nice one. I like that workout.
I did. I liked all the workouts. I am going to say, there was a lot of people who thought this year's workouts were boring.
Very different. Yeah.
Not fun. And I was like, yeah, I get that. They
weren't
really fun.
I feel
it was
a different kind of workouts, but I liked them. I thought they were great.
Yeah, I liked the workouts because I felt more everybody could do them.
Right.
Even the pull-up one, even though people were mad about that one. Usually that's like the last kind of workout that people can't do something. So
Right.
when it gets thrown in the middle, and there are seasons that it gets thrown in the middle, people get kind of irked. I know people wanted more exciting things, but you got to kind of think, okay, if they're introducing the quarterfinals again for more people to go to,
That's
they're going
true.
to try to make the workouts a little bit more for those people to fight for those numbers, to get to things, to feel accomplished.
Yeah, because
Because
we didn't have a lot of
quarterfinals is
material.
going to smack you in the face, like you said. Um,
That's true.
I I liked it. Was it one of my favorite years? No. Was it one of the worst years of workouts? To me,
No.
no. It's kind of like in the middle, mediocre. But yeah, there have been pushback, but I mean, every year there's pushback, and every year there's people who don't know who
That's
Dave
true.
Castro is, and then when he comes in, and they're like, "Who's this guy who can't count, who can't draw, who can't?" And it's like that's the
The
whole
clues
point.
are
That's
just
Dave.
awful. I'm like, none of
Yeah,
them make sense. I
yeah.
never freaking follow the whole
That's
thing because it's nonsense. I'm like, there's
yeah.
nothing of this helps me. Nothing.
Yeah, so, and that's just Dave, and that's for a lot of us who, did the open eons ago, and
Know his
that's,
style.
yeah, and just laugh and smile and just be
Silly.
like,
It's all silly.
look at this goober who's having the time of his life, and I wish I was that goober having the time of my life.
Just writing up crazy
Just
workouts and
riding
eating elite
sideways,
athletes.
ups on a box, and
It's crazy.
it's what makes me smile about the open because it's just
It's a
that,
lot of fun. It's all a good
yeah.
time. It's a good old
So
time. But yeah, it was a great year. We had a really
I'm
solid
excited for the
opening.
quarterfinals during my birthday weekend.
That's right. Pray for me,
I get
guys.
to be by my gym peeps.
I
It's gonna
know.
be
That's
fun.
gonna be fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
You're like, I'm gonna be judging everybody. How wonderful. I get to be the
I
queen
always judge
judge.
people whether it's on paper or not.
I know your birthday's coming. Huh? It's coming.
Yeah. You feel like this podcast is your swig of pre-workout. It's late in the night.
I need to pre-work.
Please hit those 5 stars. Leave us a review on Apple. You can leave us a review on YouTube as well. Hit that follow button so you get all these fun little tidbits and what we think of the open or what we think of what's going on in CrossFit.
That's right.
If you have an episode that you want us to talk about or thoughts about this open, thoughts about the quarterfinal workouts, or just that you're the best affiliate or affiliate owner, please DM us at Savagely Scaled or email us at savagelyscaled, the number 1 at Gmail, and we can deep dive into that episode or sit down and talk more about this open and how you thought about it, or even come down to your affiliate, interview you, and talk to your members. On that note, though, don't be a Karen
Be ashamed.
and keep sharing. And until
We meet.
at the whiteboard
Yeah,
again. Bye.